Hi guys, welcome to another episode. On this episode, I want to talk about pennies or coins, specifically bringing them and giving to the students as souvenirs, etc. That's a good idea, bad idea, my thoughts. So, if you're like me, you're thinking about what can I bring to Japan and give to the students, as prizes or, souvenirs, whatever. And obviously the cheapest souvenir is, are pennies. So what I did was I first initially went to a few different banks and asked for minted pennies. They didn't have any, but I did end up going on eBay and buying pennies. Interesting enough, I bought like $20 worth of pennies for something like 25 bucks. So I paid more money to get less money, but nonetheless, $25 in minted pennies, you're really super shiny, and there's 2,500 of them. You can't get 2,500 stickers for 25 bucks. I mean, it just won't happen. Usually, a sheet of stickers, even if it's like super tiny, tiny stickers, maybe you'll get like 40 or 50 per dollar, but they're not going to look that good. They're not going to be cool stickers, etc. But a penny, everyone gets pretty pumped for receiving a penny. So that's what I did. I brought my pennies, and pennies are heavy. So I took them to the classroom, and during my self-introduction presentation, I would ask questions, etc. If someone raised their hands and they got it right, then I'd give them a penny. Right? And this actually progressed for like half a year, etc. And I remember I was then going to a new elementary school. Right? I haven't been there yet, so once again, I brought my normal stuff. I brought my PowerPoint, my self-introduction PowerPoint. I brought my pennies with me, and I was, pretty much confident I was good to go because I had already done it like 20, 30 times. At the time, I'd already given away lots of pennies. So I go into the staff room, and I'm sitting there waiting for the first period class, and the principal walks by and he's like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's pennies. And this is when the shit pretty much hits the fan. And he's like, no, you can't give the students money. That's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, it's really nothing. Like, at the time, the dollar was significantly stronger than the yen, too. So even 1 penny was worth more than 1 yen, right? So, it's not even worth 1 yen. They can't even spend it in Japan. So I'm treating it like it's just, a cool souvenir from America. But no, he wasn't having any of that. He started breaking down, like sitting down with me and saying, well, no, in Japan we don't give students money, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, fine. Luckily, I always have stickers on me, so then I just switched it out and I used stickers instead. Then at the end of the school, the principal tells me, oh yeah, like after school you're gonna need to go to the Board of Education and talk to your supervisor. I was like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. At this point, I was pretty much confident that he probably like called them and be like, oh, he's giving pennies away. It's like, treating it like the end of the world. Well, anyways, I end up going to the Board of Education and talking to my supervisor, and he's like, I'm hearing that you're giving pennies away. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no. And he had the same reaction as the principal. No, you can't do that. It's like the holy, sacrilege, or I don't even know if I'm using that right, but effectively, it's like I shot someone's dog. And he was like, no, you can't do that. You can't give them money. And I'm like, well, I've been doing it for like half a year now, and I've already given away like 1,000 of them. He's like, what? No. And then he just starts like flipping out a little bit more. He's like, no more pennies, no more pennies. And, you know, I tried to explain to him my reasoning behind it. I mean, I'm like, look, I spend more money per sticker to give to them. And just like a sticker, you know, you can't use that 1 penny in Japan anyways. In America, you can't buy anything for a penny. You know, if you go and exchange money in Japan, they won't give you pennies. They won't do change. So, you know, I was trying to explain. I was like, well, what's the point of denying them, like, you know, a little bit of American history? Plus, it becomes a lesson because I talk about what the coin is made out of. I talk about the president on the coin. Then afterwards, we have a little bit of like a spinning competition. Who can spin the coin the longest? It's a lot of fun. The students love it. They get a piece of American, you know, piece of America, and everyone's happy. So it's kind of a bummer that they shot that up. And ever since then, you know, I haven't been able to give pennies. Different schools have different systems, but you know, now I just tend to play it safe. And unfortunately, now in my apartment, I have like a bucket full of pennies. I could take back with me to America and exchange it over there, but quite frankly, pennies weigh a lot, and you know, I don't feel like lugging it over there. And you know, I'm like, well, what's the point? Maybe they'll become another situation or another school system, whatever, and they're okay with it, and then I can start giving them again, because they're gonna remain minted for a long time, because it's not like I'm touching them or anything like that. They're in the rolls, right? But nonetheless, this was my story. So, you know, in conclusion, should you bring pennies with you? I say, yeah, bring them. They're the cheapest present you can give anybody. And, you know, and sometimes in life, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So I would bring the pennies, and if, you know, start with like a small amount. Like, well, first only bring like $2-3 worth of pennies, you know, 200-300 coins. And, you know, if you start giving them out and no one's really giving you any crap about it, then maybe you can, you know, get some more shipped to you, because it's really a nice cheap price for the students. At least I try to give each student one, right? And as long as they get one, everyone's happy, right? So if you know if your school, if you're only going to come here for one school and be at one school, you know, 300-400 students, bring the equivalent in pennies. And, you know, if you can give them away, great. If someone stops you, then, well, you're going to have a few dollars worth of pennies. It's not going to be the end of the world. And I'm sure you'll have other people you can give it to. I've given the pennies away sometimes to teachers, you know, and teachers who've never been to America, you know, they love it too. They're like, oh, cool, it's like a coin from America. So, nonetheless, I'd say bring it, test the waters for yourself. Your miles may vary, but sure, why not? Well, if you have any questions about this video or any of my other videos, or really anything about Japan in general, please feel free to comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye.